take it away. Fellas.
Take you away?
Take it, well.
Should we,
Not
you need
really.
a vacation over there? You okay?
So the things are, or the issues are, is that everything is happening in a vacuum in this draft. Almost everything outside of the Gragas, Yasuo, and MF, which Gen.G has more cohesion with than anything that is on the side of DRX. DRX has the Taric to try to answer the all-in engage, but the Zoe is misaligned from so many of these champions. But it is Chovy, and Zoe is his initial premier pick.
Yeah.
The Aatrox and the Olaf are just not going to really be able to achieve much against the Gen.G team composition unless they get grossly ahead. So you have to give the draft advantage to Gen.G here. They have so many more gears and modes available, and also it's just so much easier to pilot their team composition, as they also have so much access to things that just shut down what DRX is trying to achieve.
Absolutely. And I'm glad that they found a good spot to bring in Gragas Yasuo. It doesn't feel forced. As you mentioned, they have the vacuum of having Yasuo up against Zoe to have that lane win potentially. And then also just it fits in with their composition, having a composition that has like kind of an identity, you know? Not just random champions that do decently against other champions thrown together like they were picked out of a hat or something.
Yeah.
This actually has cohesion and works together, so it's cool to see.
And Pyosik just going to end up being found by Braum, as nothing too out of the ordinary. It is going to be heal on Zoe in the mid lane against the clans of BDD, who's also running fleet footwork. Player runes, and I'll take a look at them. Scorch on the Zoe. And yeah, everything here is born in sin. Has no Gathering Storm on her. So it won't scale into the later stages as well. And the other thing about this DRX team composition is most of their champions are peaking at about 1.5 items when you consider what it means against Gen.G's team comp. So it's going to come down to really the Varus and trying to juggle and manage the trades, unless, again, the Aatrox or the Zoe or something get really far ahead of their opponents.
Which we've seen what Chovy can do on this champion. It's pretty fun stuff if you're a Chovy fan. So excited to see what he can make work here and how the junglers are going to affect it. You'll notice that DragonX went for a late invade on the enemy blue. That is going to go the way of Pyosik, who is just hanging out in the jungle for now. Just takes the Graum, moves over to the Wolves. Taking all of it for now, whereas Clid is taking it very slowly. They had a ward to spot him as well. And it looks like he's going to leave a little Bambi there in the jungle. Little baby wolf is going to stick around.
Pyosik moving back into his red side jungle right now. And this is the difference in clear speed between the Olaf and the Gragas. The Gragas needs a lot more time to start coming online, and so the Olaf in a vacuum able to do a lot early on. Chovy starting things off right this game with a redemption pickup.
Yeah, you know, he was so skilled to make that happen. Really, I would just want to...
You sound like you're being sarcastic.
Congratulate him on the great play.
He knew
well done
that he was going to get that redemption. And,
well,
okay.
Is this when you cheat a recall right here?
This is it, actually, yeah.
Chovy
should just be recalling and getting a Dark Seal with the amount of time that he has, but instead actually he's going to move down with Pyosik, as I was not looking at the minimap when I made that statement. So obviously with that giant-sized minion wave, they're threatening a dive, and this is Ruler in life finding themselves in a very unfortunate situation. Ruler is at 4 CS right now.
Yeah, this is... Talk about a laning phase gone wrong. Start off, it's not looking too nice for them. Chovy is getting in there.
Yeah, Chovy getting insane value, and because BDD doesn't have teleport, this is extremely painful. Gragas on the left-hand side of the map right now. He ends up getting some camps, but it's coming at the cost of his mid and bot lane, so Clid gonna have to do something. The only success that they're really finding right now is up in top lane. Rascal getting small advantages here against Doran. And, you know, this was the thing that we were talking about, Atlus and I, in our last cast, is DRX, their laners are able to pretty consistently get advantages on their own. And so even when they end up dying or falling behind in traditional ways, it doesn't really amount to much because of the CS and the amount of plates that they can get.
Yeah, and that's the identity of their team. That's the way that they play. They are mechanical gods, great solo queue players that have put a good team together. Pyosik's going to find BDD here until his smite comes down. He wants to go in on this one, but nice. Wind wall is going to deny things for now. He'll just take out a ward. Get a decent amount of chip damage done onto BDD.
DRX having a lot of advantages being accrued down here in this bot lane. As Clid is found by Pyosik. They are completely even on camps right now. Infernal Dragon, first one of the game that has spawned, is a pretty big priority. If they can end up getting it. I think Pyosik is just checking. He's guaranteeing what Gragas' route is, giving that information to Deft and Keria so they're allowed the freedom to just push up and try to crash, get that turret plate, continue to extend their advantage as Chovy, he's doing really fine in mid lane, by the way, on his own. Very cute control ward right there, placed by Clid.
Yeah. Chovy's having a great time.
Is he?
Obviously,
now,
the redemption helps.
What do you think of Zoe's hair on this skin?
It's too green for me.
It sort of looks like a fruit. You know, like the fruit roll-ups?
Yeah.
It really is, right?
It looks like the that like blue-green fruit roll-up.
Yes,
I forget what
yes.
flavor that was, but I know exactly what you're talking about. It's an interesting choice of hairstyle and color, but to each her own. As yeah, you can just see the domination that's happening in this lane. BDD not having a good time after the way the early game went. He's got a Gragas now. Let's see if he can make it happen. You can see Chovy really wants to use that GLP if possible. Gonna take off the shield. And doesn't look like any gank is going to happen, but mid lane's going well. Bottom lane, obviously really well. They take down 2 plates already.
Yeah.
Chovy's still running at them.
Ends up putting Gragas to sleep after he threw a cast. So he was just very exhausted, that's all. Took a lot of effort out of him. Yeah. And, you know, we talked about the draft and saying how Gen.G, they have to be favored, but when everyone is falling so far behind, you have to wonder what that can mean for the early and mid game. As Infernal Dragon, the way that it's looking right now, we assume it's going to go the way of DRX, as BDD is behind in XP right now. Clid is ahead. And Varus trying to coast into Bilgewater Cutlass. Chovy really just putting a clinic on in mid lane, but here we go.
Oh, he flashes the cast back, but still the combo comes through. Can Doran help him here? He's going to miss that knockup against the follow-up one. TP comes in. He will have to back away. And with that, they say, alrighty.
And I have no idea what Pyosik is doing during all of this. He ends up losing all of his life. And they leashed it for Gen.G now.
Thankfully, it will.
Yeah, Gen.G just got rioted.
Wow.
Yeah, they got rioted right there. As
Riot,
the patience did reset. Otherwise, that was really looking like an Infernal that was going to head straight into Gen.G's hands. As Doran wants to trade here onto Rascal.
He has the blasting plants, but not going to be a great trade for him in the end.
Trying to get back into the lane. He has the Merc Treads.
Yeah.
So the added mobility, converting.
It's really fortunate that Drake reset. We are going to have a bit of damage coming out here from the bullet time. But you can see that it's not really going to deny their dominance that they continue to have in the bottom lane. So Still really good stuff out of Deft and Keria. They're winning that lane. Mid lane is obviously winning. Chovy with a really fast flash.
Chovy tries to flash out, still gets clipped by it, and thus Yasuo able to activate his ultimate, get onto Chovy. Doran trying to do his best to help out. Pyosik tanking the dragon for reasons unknown. And then he turns around to hit it again.
Yeah. He was a little bit flustered, you could say.
Yeah.
Mid lane, these numbers just keep getting wider and wider. There's a small gap up in the top side at the same time, as there should be, though. Just really doing a great job there is Rascal. Let's see how far he can push his advantage up here. As you can see, the total gold, most of it right now is over to Chovy and Deft. They're having a fun time. As Keria makes a roam up to the top side very early here. Might be thinking about Rift Herald sometime soon. It's only level 5.
Well,
yeah.
We shall see what is going to end up happening. We are getting a bit of a lull state again. Even though there is lane kingdoms.
You like ping pong?
You know, I'm actually not personally a very big fan.
Oh.
You know what I'm...
What about tennis?
No, not a big fan of that either. Valdez. You know what I'm a fan of?
What's that?
MMA. You know.
MMA? Ooh!
let's have a little bit of that start happening in some of the lanes.
What traditional sport is LoL most like?
Ping pong.
Ping pong?
if you've been paying attention.
Well, you know that I haven't. I don't listen to you.
What is the what's the sport where it's played with one wall, and both people share the same side of the court?
Squash.
No. Is it squash?
Yeah, I think I've seen that in like a TV show or something.
Sometimes we do get to see that in LoL.
Squash.
No, you win. No, you. Yeah, you know. The ball is the advantage, and they just.
Yeah.
Well.
Now Word's gonna spot this. I don't know. I don't think DragonX can really respond though.
I mean, it's a 1,500 gold lead right now for DragonX. This is more turret plates going their way. Gen.G, they do end up picking up the Infernal Dragon. And so obviously Kenne is a champion that actually gets a lot of value out of that, especially because he itemizes Gunblade. So gets dual amplification to his AD and his AP, which is very valuable for a champion like him. And yeah, the goal difference over time, it just slowly keeps increasing for DRX. And I feel like this happens so often in DRX games. They accrue so many advantages in the laning phase. They could have actually just froze down there and bottom, didn't elect to. And it would have left MF and Braum in a very awkward spot, but instead, we are learning that the racket does hit the ball, and the ball goes back to the opponent's side. So
there's a nice serve up there in the top.
There is nothing going on. Now, the Rift Herald is on Chovy right now. We'll see when he ends up using it.
Maybe we can break
our record.
To
get some plates.
Maybe we can break our record from the last...
Yes.
It was 24 minutes and 10 seconds.
Okay, and prior to that, it was 18 minutes and 35 seconds. So I think that we're really just trying to set records here tonight.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that you're here with me and everyone in the chat who's watching.
The collective?
Yeah, the collective.
The collective is with us as well. They're omnipresent, so they're with us at all times, actually. Kind of reminds me of that movie, Arrival. You ever see that?
Oh, that was a fantastic movie, actually.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I really, really liked Arrival. It has like 3 different names.
Yeah, it does.
It's really weird. There's Contact, which is one of the names of it. No, that's actually Arrival.
Yeah, I think that was the one in Korea, what they called it. Was Contact?
Yes. Yeah. And then there's another one, which is, I think it's in Europe. It has the title. I know Arrival is its North American theatrical name, and I think there's another name for it.
Imagine making 3 names for your movie.
Yeah.
Whose decision was that?
Well, not really sure.
Sometimes I feel bad when I say stuff like that because I'm like, what if that guy is watching? Like, what if the guy that made that decision is watching? He's like, oh, I didn't think it was that bad of an idea.
He's actually in chat right now. He's weird champing.
Yeah, makes me feel really bad. I'm like,
do like it. 뭐야? 나 전령 안 먹었다.
He said, I didn't need Herald.
미안하다.
I'm so sorry.
Looks like he wanted to use it up in the top side, but then he didn't have
It was
it.
actually all just a cruel ploy to give it to Chovy. Ended up working out for the best, actually. Because,
Well done.
interestingly enough, you would rather the mid-tier 1 turret die. Okay, first blood,
Speaking of
first blood.
working out for Chovy. 500 gold, how about that? Gonna be given over to BDD in the mid lane. Having a good time on this Yasuo. We'll have to see exactly how that happened. The cast was used, the last breath as well.
Yeah.
And you guys can imagine.
Now, fortunately for them, it occurs at a point where there's no turret plates. And so, not really a lot of value is going to be lost. Pyosik also has the boots now completed. Enough time in the game has passed, by the way. Just wanted to point that out for you. As the ping pong will continue, let's take a look at this. Chovy going in here as he wants to probably just check for wards as well as place something himself or check. But then because Clid is there, Clid and BDD end up getting a kill, and he had a bounty.
He did?
Which nothing's happened and a bounty happened, so that is quite impressive.
It was a little one, little bounty. Ooh, Rascal able to get out of that one, lands a stun. And then throws out a bunch of bombs. What are those things that come out of the proto belt? Like energy balls?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
That
See,
is a
I
really-
asked the hard-hitting questions.
You really do.
Yeah. I think we'll have to see it again to get an official verdict on what it could be.
Valdez, it does look like we are going to be playing ping pong for a while. Even though
Sounds
Ocean
like
Dragon
fun.
is coming up, I think that DRX might not contest it. Chovy probably very close to Luden's.
If this were like a home cast, when anything like this happens, we could just like have a ping pong table ready. We just move the webcam over.
Yeah.
Because we wouldn't have to say anything, you know?
I
It's
think
like,
that we need to get a mini one on the desk
ping
here.
pong's happening and we're just playing ping pong. And so people are like, oh, okay, it's ping pong time. Like, it's a little state. Okay, I get it. I understand.
I don't know what's causing it, but actually DRX may be considering contesting it. Aatrox now coming in with the TP.
And here we go. All the TP's coming on in. Let's see how that Taric ultimate goes as the Slicing Maelstrom. Not able to do much, but there you go. The catch in the last breath are able to do it. Doran able to dunk down on that small little cannon, though. And that should be enough to have them win the fight. DragonX able to outplay them in that team fight. The engage looked good, but unfortunately not enough effective damage was able to land there. As Chovy, I think if he just went for Clid there, probably would have had the kill, but either way, that's a 3-for-0.
Yeah, and it occurs at such a clutch time right now for DragonX. Their lanes are all in a fantastic state. Doran able to just run down there, shove the wave into Ruler. And we'll take a look at the replay in a second. Deft able to get a lot of value in mid lane. He's going to end up also getting first turret of the game. So these are really big wins. They've extended the gold lead to 3.3 thousand gold. And missed the cannon, so...
Come on.
Yeah. Now let's take a look at this one more time. Aatrox coming in on the teleport. Keria flashing, getting onto Clid. And Life just... I mean, not long for this world as Rascal
Exhaust
going
exists.
in there. Exhaust does exist, and even though BDD gets a multi-man knockup, it's not on the targets that you would realistically want to have it on, and Doran just came crashing down in that team fight as well, and Gen.G were very spread at the very start of this. They were obviously not coordinated for this team fight, and it occurs at such an unfortunate timing that allows DragonX to bust the game open a bit more. And so the gold lead, it's around 3K now.
Oh boy. Well, this is what happens when you greed for a scuttle crab. Never greed for a scuttle crab, guys. Leave it alone. I know it's a lot of money, but that's what happens. You get caught out, you get dunked, and you get your enemy Varus, who just happens to be Deft, to be 2-0-2 on the Varus. DragonX really just looking like the more skilled team, I'd say, in this game, is the way that I would put it. We talked about mechanical skill, but their team fighting has been good as well. And see if they can keep it up from here.
Yeah, well, they're rotating top now. They have the Rift Herald. I don't think there's any reason to summon it at this point in time. They can definitely just save it for maybe a team fight victory. Or to perforate the mid-tier 2 turret. They're going to go off a recall right now. And almost Black Cleaver completed for the Olaf. In terms of level advantages, we have only one in top lane, one in AD carry, one in support. A little bit surprising. I would have actually thought that Chovy...
Yeah. Maybe because he died.
Yeah.
At one time, it gave a lot of XP over.
Black Cleaver completed on Aatrox. Have you heard his other ID?
Well, what's his new one?
Well, he has a few. Okay, not to try to spoil anything, but
okay.
I'll give you a few of them.
Okay.
There is Aatrox.
Yeah, I mean, we know about that one.
Aatrox.
Yeah.
Ox.
Ox?
Trox. And, last but not least, and that's them all. Right there. That
wow,
last one
we've really just taken this to the next
all,
level there.
All 6 letters are silent.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I wish I were as cool as
Yeah, I know. You wish, Valdez.
You gotta earn those silenced letters.
Yeah.
You're not just born with those. You become to earn those over time. Well, I kind of liked Aatrox. That never really stuck.
That never really. That
People
never really
jumped on that one.
Ooh, you know what? Is another one that we could mix it up with is Aa.
Aa?
Aa. You know, you're just gonna mix up the pronunciation.
Aa?
Yeah.
Wait, so is it Aatrox or just Aa?
Or it could be Aa.
How about Aatrox?
I like that one. That one is.
That's a classic.
That one I think is a bit of a fan favorite with the collective.
Oh yeah, the collective really loves that one. That's how you know it's high quality.
Yeah.
All the Galaxy brains just get together and they make the decision that this is actually the best one out of all of them.
I'm not really entirely sure why you're insulting them like that. You said Galaxy, but...
True. Yeah, I know. It's
a bit
just
larger than that.
It's because Galaxy is so large for my puny human brain to handle. So I think it's large, but it's actually, it's the collective is another level. Oh boy. Saw Clid in there. Doran is just... He's pretty happy right now. He's 1-0. He's level 14. Highest level in the game alongside Clid. Or not Clid. BDD.
And at this point in the game, this is more and more ping pong. Cloud Dragon likely to go the way of DRX. And it just doesn't look like Gen.G is ever going to get into stable footing. They're going to probably fall down about 5,000 gold in coming minutes. And, the Varus is very big. Zoe also has the Ludens, has the Zanyas, so a lot of utility for the next fight as well.
Oh, man. Doran just... he flew out of there like the little moth that he is. Used his wings to hop over that wall.
Cloud Soul, not the most exciting of dragons.
No, not really.
To be frank with you.
But you kind of just have to stack them up. But Cloud Soul for this team as well, like... I guess it's okay for the bot lane. Not bad for Olaf. The speed is actually pretty nice.
I feel like we're
I think about it.
I talked about this with Atlus yesterday. When we get into games like this where passive gold leads just keep occurring and there's no real team fights, I like to call this the molding. That is what this phase of the game is.
Molding?
Yeah, the molding. We're watching food mold.
I don't think that's how you say that.
You know what? Valdez, it is now.
That's not a verb.
It's a play on mold.
I understand that, yes. Thank you for letting me know.
I mean...
The molding.
The molding. when you watch the food deteriorate.
Yeah.
You know?
What
What's
is
going
the
on
verb for molding? You know?
Is it just to mold? No.
No, that's why I was confused at first. I'm like, what? That's not a thing. There must be a verb that's like when food slowly grows mold. It's not to mold. Like, it's not like, you know, I'm a piece of bread and I decided to mold today. Like, that's not the way it works.
Well,
man, we've gone really far. This game really doesn't. There's not really much to mention, guys. To be honest, they pushed bot. They didn't take the turret, and now they're ping-ponging the lanes.
Well, not much really gonna be unfolding, I would suspect, in the next couple of minutes. At least not until Cloud Dragon ends up coming up. There's also core item completions that still need to come in. Yasuo very close to his Infinity Edge. As Varus and everyone else, they're probably... Okay, hold on.
Okay. They're going to force that one out. Here comes Pyosik. Says, hello, I'm Olaf. I would like to fight. And the enemy team says no. Well, actually, they might be able to. The huge stun comes in from Keria. Gets 3 on the back. Chovy not able to capitalize on the kill. And at the end of the day, they are able to disengage with the help of a trusty Braum after Gen.G was the one that originally wanted to start that engage. And now the push begins. They don't need any Baron or anything like that. Bullet time, trying to help push this back. Chovy actually using a fake flash to get out of that one, and he's just rolling right now. He's getting all over the flank. Comes in, but the exhaust is there once again. Every single time, Keria is going to save that for that pesky little Kenne. Here comes Doran. Maybe a little bit too fast on that one. The Moth lost control of its wings and flew directly into the light. And that was the end of him. As 0 kills at the end of all of that action.
Well, at the end of it, they're going to be able to pillage some of the red side jungle of Gen.G. And we're going to get a little bit more downtime. And that was very dicey. If Keria doesn't land that exhaust there, teamfight probably ends up breaking out, and DRX would lose the game, I think. Because a teamfight loss of that nature would probably result in Gen.G getting Baron. And then there is so much standing gold still available on the map for them to claim. So let's take a look at it. One time, Clid comes in here, presses the cast. But it's not one that BDD can follow up on. They get the Taric ultimate out, and now watch this. Wait, what? That went through the...
It was the side.
What?
Side of the wall.
It actually really looked like there was a hole in the wall.
Yeah.
So when I saw it the first time, I gave Chovy benefit of the doubt that he Zoe popped on the other side and then threw it. But clearly that was not what just happened. And now watch Rascal coming in here, running. I was going to do the slicing Maelstrom. Keria, his mouse was actually already in pretty close proximity because he was clicking backwards.
Yeah.
And so it's able to find Kenne. And that's actually really surprising because we're talking about microseconds here. And so if he was clicking in to Gen.G's second tier mid turret, that is actually some damage that could be lost if he has to drag his mouse down really fast to respond to the Kenne coming from the cell. Really subtle thing.
Keeping that mouse cursor close to your champion. And they were corralled into their red side jungle, but now Gen.G say, actually, we're in control of this boat now. And they just move in and take a turret just like that.
They're still down 5,000 gold.
Yeah, the Cloud Drake also does go the way of Olaf, of DragonX here.
Yeah, so we're going to get Soul Point in 4.5 minutes, or a little bit over 4.5 minutes. Pyosik now going to pick up the blue, another bubble.
Can they find the angle here? They get the knockup by Doran, and he's got 3 of them under him, and now he has the Taric ultimate on top of him, but so many stopwatches and barriers stop it for so long, but eventually we finally get our action. Couple of kills come in. DragonX are now looking at the Baron.
And now at this point, This is likely going to be DragonX picking up the Baron. They have a 6,000 gold lead, so this entire game is not on even footing since the get-go. And that's just a testament to the laning capability of Chovy as well as Deft and Keria. Not much really happened in this game to accrue these kind of advantages. Ruler and Rascal, they're trying to respond to Baron by attacking it indirectly, trying to eliminate as many minion waves from the map as possible. They also raised the mid-tier 2. Now, right here, VDD just gets caught by the bubble trouble, doesn't flash, and that gives Doran the exact opening he needed
Big
to
exhaust
run in.
onto him.
Yeah, and Clid body slamming right into Pyosik.
So Olaf picked up a kill.
Yeah.
He's very happy that he was useful in this game. He was able to get that angle down. And at the end of the day, so it was a couple of kills that went their way. They move on over to Baron, they take that down. And now 2 minutes of Baron buff. They're going to look to push bot and mid, it looks like. Aatrox slowly moving it in. And Gen.G can't really get anywhere near the jungle because they're just going to get trouble bubbled. They're going to get slapped in the face by pal stars. It's going to be horrendous. So they just have to kind of turtle in their base. Rascal is doing a little push thing up on the top side, slowly pushing that one out, but has his teleport. There are a couple of wards behind DragonX here.
And, well, this is honestly just looks like it could potentially just be the Doom push. Chovy!
He used that little rock there to extend it just that little bit. Is Rascal gonna TP in here at all? He's just running on up.
And you can see the question mark ping goes down into middle lane. They're waiting for the minions to arrive, and they're going to try to raise the mid-tier 3 turret. And this is where a team fight could break out. I think Rascal and Clid, I think they're going to go for the flank. Pyosik.
Yeah, Pyosik was going in there. He knew that somebody must be in that side brush, so a good scout opportunity by Boy Scout Olaf. Nice amount of poke damage coming out. The Zoe B1 and then Varus B2. It's kind of interesting. You get a lot of poke with just the two champions. We're seeing it here in the lead. Another Unbreakable has to come down. Rascal desperately looking for the angle, but exhaust is up. Big cast comes in, but it's not enough damage as the stopwatch is there on Chovy. And DragonX, they don't follow up with an engage. They just say, okay, your engagement failed. We're not going to go overboard. We're not going to try to kill you. We're just going to take your inhibitor and back away.
They're being a lot more calculated this game. Doran going to go over the wall.
Well, they might be able to kill Doran here, which will be a extremely small consolation prize. Well, actually, it could deny the fight at Cloud Drake if they do take him down. So it could have been bigger than that if it did end up happening.
Clid trying to get as much XP as he can. He is 5 levels down on Doran.
Sad Gragas stolen.
Okay, well, 4 now. He leveled up. He hurt us. What? All right, well, a bit unlucky.
Yes, quite unlucky.
As
Keria also, keep in mind, he kept very calm in that last fight. Even after the giant engage, he didn't exhaust Yasuo. He's like, no, you can't kill us.
Yeah.
Keeps it for the cannon.
But now he has the Lock of the Iron Solar. He has Redemption as well. These are both 2 really strong items against Gen.G's team composition. It's going to really make it so that even if the Gragas, Yasuo, and Kenne engage goes off, it's not really going to do a whole lot, especially when you combine it with Taric using his ultimate. It feels like there's obviously value if Gen.G could make this game go another 10 minutes and get to even footing, but they're just so far behind in base levels and in items that the base levels are really making it a problem because we're talking about several hundred extra HP that they have to chew through in order to just be considered even with their opponents. And as a byproduct of that, it makes it so that their ideal engages aren't really that ideal. And yeah, Cloud Soul picked up pure DRX. They might just wait until the Baron to try to end the game.
That's a fast Varus there. They all get 10% movement speed, and at first I was like, Cloud Drake, I don't know. Obviously there are better Drakes in the game, but having even Chovy on the Zoe, there's going to be a lot of times where he's moving. He's not just portal jumping the entire time. He already has a speed boost with his W, add an extra 10%. Obviously Olaf likes to get into the fight real quick alongside of Aatrox. So it's not half bad. Not to mention the cooldown reduction, obviously, on the ultimates. That does come in. Ooh, nearly caught Ruler there. As they're just waiting for this objective to come up, see if they can get a pick. Don't overextend or use your stopwatch. Yeah.
Yeah, not a lot really going on right now, as it's just the slow, inevitable doom. This is like in those movies when the walls are slowly moving in on you. You know what I'm talking about?
You ever see that movie Star Wars?
What is that?
I don't really know. I've heard of it, but I've never seen it.
Wait, have you actually never seen Star Wars?
No, I haven't.
Okay, did you watch the most recent one?
No, I watched the first of the sequels, but after that I didn't watch anything. Bullet Time comes out. They're really looking desperate here, Gen.G. Trying to force something to happen. Lightning Rush comes down. A bit of K-Ram action.
Yeah,
Rascal looking for the flank as Doran is getting fed up. Not really finding any trouble bubbles or anything, as actually a lot of poke damage goes down onto the Olaf.
Olaf's a great champion. You see what he just did there?
He ran in and then he ran out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I saw. They don't know about Rascal down here. Behind them, this fight is coming in. They're looking for the backside, but the exhaust is there once again, and now he's put to sleep. Even as Doran is in the backside, is able to stopwatch. Really nice pose there at the end. Has the Guardian Angel. No real thing to be scared of for him.
Yeah,
as
they
he
have a
will
nice
just
minion wave.
frontline into this fight here. No flash for Keria. But the TPs are coming in, and they say, you guys can run as long as you'd like, but I don't really care.
Oh,
Nice try.
I thought that he had landed it in a way that they could not pass. Oh,
Okay, he got the slow.
yeah, Deft clipping Ruler right there. As Clid is...
Oh!
the skin that Clid's using, it almost looks like he's just a giant minion himself.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not too far from
Yeah.
the truth in this game. As game number 1 is going to go down here to DRX. DragonX here in 36 minutes, 11-2. As they were winning in the early game, the mid game,